Hey, we're going to change the subject a little bit. For those of you that have listened to my business show in the past, and actually I think we've touched on it on this show once upon a time, there's this whole issue about disappearing bees and the potential climactic
implications
of that. Yeah. Well, no, not affects our climate. I mean, it could be really devastating. And so it turns out that all politics, apparently all environmental issues are local as well. And so Sandy Raleigh has been putting together an effort here in the city of Reno to deal with this issue. So Sandy, welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you guys for having us on. I really appreciate it.
Well, Sandy, give us enough of a background as for folks that haven't been paying attention to this issue or just hasn't risen up for them. What is the issue as you see it?
Oh, gosh. That's a big, scary question. I'll do my best to answer it. Okay, around the world, over 40% of our honeybee populations are now gone, devastated. This is a local issue as well as a global issue. So part of the research that we've done, we're just a group of volunteers. There's about 100 of us in the Washoe County area. There's 1,500 of us around the world putting together a walk next month to help bring awareness on this issue. But the research that we have shows that it's a combination of overuse of pesticides, chemicals like Roundup, especially systemic pesticides. These pesticides, whenever you use them, you spray them in your yard, you think, oh, I need to spray every week. What it does is it builds up in the soil, and it can last in the soil for up to 2 years. So whenever a bee or a local pollinator, a bird, butterfly, dragonfly, lands on that plant, they get treated with this systemic pesticide, and over time it causes a form of Alzheimer's disease, if not killing them right out. This chemical lasts up to 2 years in the soil, and it can travel. So if you have a neighbor that's Roundup crazy and spraying every week, whenever it rains, it can end up in your yard as well. So this is a huge, huge issue. And there are many more factors that contribute to bee and pollinator deaths, but this is the huge one that we're focusing on, one that we know that we can make a difference. People just need to be educated.
Yeah, I can add a little bit to that, and that's that there has been a fair amount of research because I think it actually began in Europe. And they put the scientists to it really early on, and they believed that, in fact, a particular class of pesticides was responsible for that. And they did enough of a proof of study for that, and that they felt confident to bring it to their governments. And these pesticides are outlawed in Europe now, I think by the entire European Union.
Isn't that awesome? Also in Oregon and Washington and the Department of Wildlife, they started banning the use of systemic pesticides in wetlands, which is flipping fantastic. That's what we would like to have happen here in Reno. We're signing a petition to bring to City Council, I think it's on the 20th of next month, to encourage them to ban the use of bee-killing pesticides in Washoe County.
And for those of you that want a little more information about that, there is a Facebook page called The Chip Evans Show, and posted on there is the event invitation for Save the Bees, August 16th, and there's a petition to sign, and the actual celebration of the march will be at Idlewild Park beginning at 10 a.m. on that day. Dave, you had a question?
Yeah, hi Sandy, Dave Mulligan.
Hi.
Hi, quick question for you. We've discussed the shocking decline in the number of bees, but we really haven't discussed what that's going to mean to the environment. The fact that those plants, those flowers, are not being pollinated by these bees visiting a flower, then going to the next. What's that going to end? What's that going to cause around the world?
Oh, that's a darn good question.
Yeah, I prefer damn good.
Sorry, I'm a little passionate about that. Calm down. 70% of the delicious foods that we all enjoy, some of us a little too much, will be gone. And this isn't some fairy tale off in the far, far future. This is in the next 3 to 4 years. This is extremely important that everyone do their part. So that's you're right. You're right. 70% of the food that we eat will be gone unless you're very rich and you can afford to hire human pollinators, which they do already in China, because all of their pollinators are gone. Yes.
Sandy, this is Dory,
Yeah.
and I have a question for you. I read an article not too long ago. I can't even remember what it was in, but some of the drop in the population of our bees is due to some killer bees that have immigrated from Mexico.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yes and no, and also Africa. I know a beekeeper, I think he's in Arizona, who colonized African bees, and he sells honeycomb for it. He was a beekeeper for, 20-plus years, and he had a crazy call one day. Hey, I got these mean, terribly awful, vicious bees stuck in my siding. Can you come get them? They're stinging the horses and my students, and I guess their neighbor had a...
They're very dangerous. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Mother Nature, or the planet, evolves, right? And these bees are evolving, right? So just like if we use antibiotics, we end up with superbugs. Like I had this year, almost died from it. So I'll never touch antibiotics again. But the same thing is happening with our pollinators, with our plants. We're using antibiotics, if you will, when we don't need them. And there's so much built up in the soil. You'll see landscaping companies. Right? The other day I was driving down the road and thinking, I love all these beautiful flowers that we planted along the roadway here in Double Diamond. It's beautiful. I feel so happy to be a part of this. And then I saw landscaping companies wearing masks and gear, spraying. I pulled over and I asked them, so what you spraying? And the young man, a real smart guy, says, we're spraying systemic herbicides. I almost fell over. I couldn't believe it. So those are the herbicides and pesticides that stay on the plant for 2 years that does horrible damage. You know, once in a blue moon, okay, I don't like it, but okay. But every other week is insanity. So we are causing our native pollinators to change. They're going to have to evolve to survive.
I had a major beekeeper on my business show. He had also rounded up some of the top researchers in the country to work with him. And he said a couple of things that I think are interesting, and to your point, and specifically to your question, Dave. You know, here in northern Nevada and northern California specifically, bees are really relied on for almonds. And in fact, that was not happening the way it was supposed to happen, and they're bringing in bee colonies from all around the country, and the price of almonds is likely to be driven up here very shortly because they're paying top dollars to bring in these bees, and they had whole colonies collapsing, and so it got big in a hurry. And it's an issue, and it's
well,
here
I
already.
heard that the grapevines don't need the bees, so at least we'll still have our wine when everything else is gone.
That's important.
There you go. Hey, Sandy, if you can hang out with us a little bit more, we'll be back after these messages from our sponsors.
The new music revolution at 101.3 Renegade Radio. Now playing in radios everywhere.
Northern Nevada's Building and Construction Trade Council is working for a better community for all of us.
We've been partners with local contractors since 1928 to provide qualified, safe, and productive workers. Workers trained in the latest technologies and methods to perform the highest standards of quality and efficiency.
We save taxpayers money by assuring union workers and their families have medical insurance and pension benefits, so they won't need public assistance. We also work to keep unqualified contractors with their shoddy work practices from building our bridges, schools, and public buildings.
Our Building and Construction Trades Council supports good jobs in our community. Jobs with a livable wage, basic health and retirement benefits, a safe work environment, and the pride that comes from knowing we are building a better Northern Nevada.
For more information about our local Building and Construction Trades Council, go to bctnn.org. That's bctnn.org. Or call 775-355-9200.
Support the quality contractors who employ skilled union tradesmen. We build it right the first time.
Lacey J. Dalton here. Come on out to the First Virginia City Wild Horse Fair. Wild horses are in trouble. Help us save them Saturday, August 23rd in VC with a day of family fun to raise money. There'll be a parade, concert, booths, pony and train rides, Mustang cars, and much more. For info or to be a vendor, sponsor, or volunteer, go to wildhorsefaire.com or robert@silverlandusa.com or call 775-847-4493.
Want to be successful and respected? We're looking for someone like you. With a sales career at Country Financial, you'll earn a very competitive salary, plus commissions and rewards, and you'll receive ongoing training. Best of all, you'll be helping clients secure their financial future, no matter where they're starting from. To find out more, visit countrycareer.com or contact Jeremy Peterson at 775-829-1011. A country career, the freedom to grow, the support to succeed. Equal opportunity employer.
Are you an adult who wants to have fun and do something different?
Reno's leading dance studio for adults and children, Dancin' Performing Arts Center, has dance lessons to give you exactly that. Amanda Colson and her accomplished instructors will enable you to learn the specifics in the dance of your choice. Everything for adults from ballet to ballroom, including line dancing, country couples, tap, jazz, hip-hop, Latin and salsa, belly dancing, social ballroom, and more. Amanda gained fame by performing as a principal dancer worldwide in internationally acclaimed dance productions. Her teaching expertise is shared by all of her instructors. Classes are structured to give her students ever-increasing learning and a sense of accomplishment. Dancin' Performing Arts Center is conveniently located at the corner of Skyline and Casual Boulevard, next door to Hiroba Sushi and La Vecchia restaurants. You can enroll today by calling 775-825-3687. Class sizes are limited, so don't delay. Take your first step. Call 775-825-3687.
And welcome back to the Chip Evans Show. I'm here with my co-hosts Dave Mulligan and Dory Guy today. And we're talking with Sandy Rowley, who's acquainting us with the issues around bees and particularly actions happening here in northern Nevada. We also have another caller. Karen, welcome to the show.
Hello, this is Karen calling from Rhode Island. And actually, I'm very excited what's going on now with the fight against GMOs. And actually, I was on the website, and I was very excited to find out that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is going to phase out neonicotinoid insecticides in Region 1 of wildlife refuges. And so it's the first U.S. agency to ban the use of neonicotinoids. And so it seems like the word is really spreading. And so I'm very excited about that. And so I encourage people to make a statement and do what they can to stop this before it gets too late. There are so many different reasons not to eat GMOs, and so I think we need to look at each victory and stand firm, because I think we can really impact our society.
And Karen, in Rhode Island, and in where you're living, is there a substantial group of folks gathering around these issues?
Well, we're small, but we're growing, and it's interesting. The more talking I do with different people, the more concerned they are. And I'm actually a beekeeper, and so I've talked to fellow beekeepers, and they certainly are deeply concerned about this because the colony collapse disorder that took place a few years ago, it's been kind of on the rebound. But for the longest time, because of research that was done, it wasn't realized that it was directly related to the GMOs and the neonicotinoids that's in our foods. And so this has been revealed by studies all over the world. And so I'm just really excited now that people are becoming aware of this and are concerned about the labeling of the products that we eat. And hopefully with the labeling, people will become more aware of how this impacts our health, so that we will have healthy kids. I have grandchildren. I want them to live healthy, lives, and I want the next generation to be even more healthy. And so I'm just excited that this is beginning to take off, and I feel like people being aware of it is the very first step.
Well, that's great. Well, Karen, thank you so much for sharing with us. Sandy, you alluded earlier to the fact that this particular demonstration in August is actually one of a number throughout the country or throughout the world. What do you know about that?
Throughout the world, yeah. You can search on Facebook, SWARM, SWARM. We have about 36,000 people around the world. We meet every Sunday, and we discuss how we can help each other bring more awareness to the event on August 16th. important. It's so important. So if you can come out to Idlewild Park, fantastic. If you have errands to do that day, you're busy, just wear your bee suit. Wear black and yellow. Go shopping. Just let people know. So it's more of a free will movement of sorts. So if you have a creative idea, you want to do an art protest, obviously be safe and be respectful. This is a peaceful walk. We have families coming out, little kids dressing up as bees and their dogs. We have other people dressing up with some very sexy clothing, too, and, hey, I'm happy they're there to help. I'm all for gorgeous young people walking around, for a good cause. But people from all over the world, and we're just helping each other out.
Sandy, I do have a question for you.
Sure.
Almost every time I see this issue mentioned, or the GMO issue, or whatever, it seems like it's always about Monsanto. Are there other companies that are putting out this class of pesticides?
Yes. And we have a list of them on our Facebook page, and I'll share it with you later because some of them are kind of hard to remember. There's Bayer, they're the people that sell your aspirins. There's also a brand called Safari that you need to stay away from. What Monsanto has done, they've purchased 40% of the seed market. So when you're purchasing your seeds, you think, I'm planting a bee-friendly garden, I'm doing something great for the planet and my grandchildren. This is great. When it's fact, you're not. So when you buy your seeds, you got to make sure they're heirloom and they're organic. When you buy your plants, trees, flowers, and shrubs, make sure they're organic. We did an undercover study of sorts, and even our local garden shops regularly treat with neonics. It was just disgusting. So not only does Home Depot and Lowe's do this, but local garden shops as well. I was just disgusted.
Well, let me put this to you. Are the alternatives to these particular class of pesticides just as good, and it's just a choice, or are they giving up something by not using these?
Yes, exactly. That's yes, the alternatives work just fine. Yes, and we have a list of those as well. Some as simple as just Dawn dish soap with water and spray. I'm serious. It's easy stuff. There are some organic companies that said, okay, you people don't want to do it free and easy. We will charge you for the same stuff. So you can go to Lowe's and Home Depot and buy organic, bee-safe and pollinator-safe weed control and bug control. And most of them are just ready-made stuff that you can do at home, but people were so used to buying stuff instead of being self-sufficient. So I have a video that I can share with you as well. A nice guy in Southern California put together an awesome video to show you which one of those products are bee-safe, pollinator-safe.
Sandy, we have a regular guest in the audience here, Mike, who was trying to sort out exactly which food types this whole pollination thing affects. And so his contention is that there's nothing kind of in the grain family, the rices and the wheats and that sort of stuff that would be affected. Just berries and nuts. And what do you know about that? I don't.
Yeah, good question. And any foods that are created with fruits and nuts would be affected as well. So in a sense, we would live off of oatmeal. I like oatmeal. And bread. I love bread. So, yeah, and I would encourage Mike to go online and do his own research. There's thousands of sites out there and people around the world that are doing their part to make sure that our food resources are safe for ourselves and our kids. We used to say, we want to do this for our grandchildren. No, we kind of want to do it for ourselves. It's that close. It's right on our back door, knocking on the door. Oh, my God, do something. So he's right. You would have a diet of oatmeal and bread.
Hi, Sandy. It's Dave again here. Oh, you had me at beer.
And wine.
Yeah, wine and beer.
Yeah.
It's Dave again here. One of the things that he mentioned, he being Mike, specifically, he was sort of poo-pooing the whole problem, saying that those are just luxury foods that are affected. Strawberries, I mean, who really needs strawberries? That was his comment.
Oh, gosh. Are you a cook? Are there any good cooks in the audience?
I'm a good cook. This is Dory.
Okay, so I'm sure us good cooks can come up with something beautiful and wonderful and tasteful, but I sure do love strawberries.
Does this affect our vegetable, any of our vegetables?
Yes, it does. It affects our majority of our food supply.
Okay.
Olive oils, all kinds of different oils.
So Sandy,
Oils, yeah.
let's talk for a moment. Best ways to get educated about this subject in general, and then best ways to plug into efforts here in their local communities, wherever they are, or certainly here in Northern Nevada.
Okay, yeah. So let me answer that last question. It's a good question. On Wikipedia, they have a list of all the food stuffs that are pollinated by bees. There's lots of them, so make sure to go check that out. How you can get involved locally? Holy cow. The first thing, please go to your website and sign the petition that we're going to give to Reno City Council on the 20th, asking them to make Reno, Nevada a bee-friendly city to help with tourism as well. Next up, show up Saturday, August 16th in Reno, Nevada, or any city close to you, because I know that you have listeners from all over the planet. If you go to search for Swarm, Save the Bees, or Bees Against Monsanto, you'll either find a local group of volunteers that are making this happen, or you can create one of your own. And there are lots of supporters that help you get your event page up, help you get your website up for free. We've got free stickers and banners. We're doing our best to make this happen. So first step, again, sign the petition. Let Reno City Council know that we want Reno to be a bee-friendly city. It's important for our kids, it's important for us and our future. Second, come out and show your support.
Okay, and just for a moment, Karen, are you still online with us?
Yes, I am.
Karen, is there a local place for folks in Rhode Island to plug in?
Well, I'm actually just getting started, and we are going to meet on the 15th as well. And so it's Be Against Monsanto's, and I've helped to create a website. We're going to be doing something at 10 o'clock. Location is yet to be announced, but I'm really excited to hear that will be happening. And so,
we've got another caller. Mike has called in to tell us a little bit about Swarm. Mike, welcome to the show.
Hi, Chip. Hi, Sandy.
Hey.
So, Mike, what did you want to add?
I'm a big advocate of the project and anything we can do to help protect the bees.
That's terrific. Yeah, I'm just glad that the wine's not affected here, because that works well.
Well, that's why he paused. He was just having a sip.
There you go. So, Mike, we'll look forward to seeing you at the event on August 16th, I'll bet.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you so much for calling in. Karen, thank you so much, and appreciate you spearheading your effort out there. I know this is kind of one of those standard educate the public first and then get them to act, and it's a big load to carry, and so it needs to be done at the local level, I suspect, so good for that. And Sandy, any final thoughts?
Please, do whatever you can. If you can't get out and walk, make a phone call. Call, if you live in an apartment complex, say, hey, I see you guys spraying chemicals. What are they spraying? Call your local landscaping companies, call your local garden shops and say, look, we love you, but you've got to stop selling this junk.
Okay, we're...
do what you can.
Glad for people to go to the Chip Evans Chip Evans Show Facebook page and see the invitation there and the announcement about the March Against Monsanto on August 16th. We'll be